I don't like purchasing power parity, it's a little bit deceptive, right? Anyway, the broad issue here is correct. That is, we are going to see a certain number of big economies. Let's not get too fooled by big. Big doesn't mean rich, right? If you have a lot of people, you'll be big, but you won't be necessarily be rich. So what do you want to be, big or rich? Think about that. So I hope that rich is part of the equation. There's no use being a giant economy where the per capita income is $600 or something like that. Okay, that's an extremely bad situation. Particularly if you think of the skewed distribution that's typical for incomes. Remember that the mean is probably higher than the median. So when we say average income in India is so and so, we're actually already biasing it towards a favorable number. The real number which we should look at is probably the median, and that's even lower. Understand, skewed distributions mean is usually bigger than the median. If you haven't done that yet in statistics, you will. And something very interesting happens. India and China have historically been the largest economies in the world for thousands of years. The Roman Empire was a distant third. If you don't know that, it's a sign of how programmed we have become through the colonial period. The colonial period is a minor aberration. The x-axis here is not scaled linearly. It's a highly idiosyncratic scale. So simply between 1820 to 1970, a mere 150 years, these two economies crash. Why? Colonialism and mercantilism. They crash. They're not blameless. You know, Indians were very successful at fighting each other and letting other people take basically advantage of them. But consider that the forward, where we're going forward, and that's the title I've added, you know, it's forward to the past. These two economies are going to be big again. They already are, right? And so, if anybody asks you, well, India is growing, yeah, you know, we have to recover sometimes, so we're doing it. Nothing special. We should expect it. And you should be angry as heck. Nothing special. We should expect it. And you should be angry as heck if we are not one of the biggest economies in the world. What makes for a big economy? Well, this one simple answer is size. If you have a heck of a lot of people, if you have 40 people and I have 2, and you all work at average levels, then you're going to be bigger than me. But does it mean anything? So let's not be too enamored of that, but size is important. Now imagine if the whole world was villages and everybody was just doing kheti and, you know, farming and dairy and stuff like that. So nobody would be more productive than anybody else. And the bigger economies in population would be the biggest economies on GDP. Simple. What changed and why did it change? And why is it that we are now not there? Why are we big and poor? Answer to that is productivity at the end of the day. India is very unproductive. Indian cow population is unproductive, Indian people population is unproductive. Is it because something's wrong with the people? Absolutely not. Take average Indian person and put them in another context and they'll do extremely well. What do you conclude? Something is wrong with the system.